This is a story about a young pilot who took off on a routine flight. Halfway through the journey, he radioed air traffic control and reported something strange, something flying above him. Minutes later, his transmission ended with a sound no one could explain, and neither he nor his plane were ever seen again. On October 21st, 1978, 20-year-old Frederick Valentich departed from Melbourne for a flight to King Island. He was alone. The weather was good. Visibility was clear. Nothing about the flight appeared unusual. It should have been routine. But at around 7 p.m., everything changed. Frederick contacted air traffic control. At first, his transmission sounded calm, professional. Then he asked an odd question. Was there any known aircraft operating below 5,000 feet in his area? The controller checked. The answer came back immediately. No, there shouldn't have been. But Frederick didn't seem reassured, because according to him, something was there. He reported seeing an aircraft above him, one he couldn't identify. And the more he described it, the stranger the conversation became. According to the radio transcripts, the object appeared to have 4 bright lights. It moved at tremendous speed. At times, it approached his plane. At other moments, it seemed to circle overhead. Frederick struggled to explain what he was seeing. The object appeared shiny, metallic, unlike any aircraft he recognized. As the minutes passed, his voice began to change. The confidence faded. Confusion took its place. And then concern. Because whatever was out there wasn't behaving like a normal airplane. At one point, Frederick described it as if it were intentionally maneuvering around him, watching him, playing some kind of game. Then came the statement that would make the case famous, a statement still discussed decades later. Frederick paused and said, "It's not an aircraft." A few moments later, air traffic control heard an unusual sound, a harsh metallic noise, like scraping metal, grinding, static mixed with something mechanical. It continued for several seconds. Then suddenly, the transmission stopped. No goodbye, no distress call, just silence. Repeated attempts to contact Frederick failed. He never responded. Search crews were dispatched immediately. They searched the waters of the Bass Strait. Aircraft combed the area. Ships searched below. Nothing. No wreckage, no fuel slick, no emergency beacon, no body. It was as if both the pilot and the airplane had simply vanished. Over the years, investigators proposed explanations. Some suggested Frederick may have become disoriented. Perhaps he mistook reflections from his own aircraft lights on the water for another object. Others theorized he entered an unusual flight attitude and lost control. It's a scenario that aviation experts say can happen surprisingly quickly. But not everyone is convinced, because the final radio transmissions remain deeply unusual. And unlike many disappearances, there's no wreckage to examine, no definitive evidence, just a recording, a strange metallic sound, and a pilot insisting he was looking at something that shouldn't have been there. To this day, nobody knows exactly what Frederick Valentich saw that night, or why neither he nor his aircraft were ever found. Because if Frederick was mistaken, then where did the plane go? And if he wasn't, what exactly was waiting for him in the darkness above?